Yes, Madam Vice President, since Trump has taken office, everything that you warned about has happened. Do you sometimes just want to scream, "I told y'all so," and feel free to do it right now? I mean,
Sonny, nothing comes to mind. But the reality is he is destroying our government, our institutions, the principles and values upon which we're founded. I mean, what he has done to attack a free and independent press, free speech, what he has done to attack the people of our country in such a vicious way, I find there are no redeeming qualities. I have spent time in the Oval Office with the president, receiving our allies and our friends from around the world. And consistently, we have seen Donald Trump bring people into the Oval Office, be they a United States governor or the head of a state of a friendly nation, and embarrass them and ridicule and demean them. That is not what a president does. This individual who occupies our White House right now,
the people's house,
has decided that he will be an emperor in his mind who will demonstrate his power by demeaning and belittling and making people feel small. But this is...
And dividing.
But here's the thing. The American people are stronger than that. We are smarter than that. You can see in polling how his popularity is nosediving.
Yeah.
And I do believe that moving forward, we're going to remember that the power ultimately is with the people. And we have to remind folks that they cannot let their light and their spirit be diminished by who happens to be in the Oval Office.
Harris did not just voice a political opinion. She presented an argument based on a perceived pattern of behavior. She referenced a commander-in-chief who, in her view, has shown a fundamental disregard for the institutions and values of the nation. She specifically noted his attempts to weaponize the Department of Justice against political opponents and silence critics. This narrative frames his presidency as an existential threat, not just a policy disagreement.
What was going through your mind as the results came in?
I grieved in a way that I have not since my mother died. Wow. And it was, the pain was, it was not at all about losing a race. I knew what it was going to mean for the country. I was going to say for the family. And that's how I felt, for the country.
We all agreed.
I knew what it was going to mean.
Yeah.
But I knew.
Yeah.
And all I could say over and over again is, my God, my God, my God.
Ultimately, if you have to pin it down to one thing, what was the primary reason, do you think, that you lost?
There are many factors, I think, that played into the outcome of that election. But I think probably one of the biggest in my mind is we just didn't have enough time. Current sitting president is running for re-election. 3.5 months from the election, he decides not to run. The sitting vice president then takes the mantle, running against a former president of the United States who had been running for 10 years with 107 days until the election. One of the things that I think the 24 election made very clear is the American people want their immediate needs met. And, you know, we paid a lot of good attention and time on issues like the infrastructure bill. We have an individual in the White House, the President Trump, who in running for re-election made a lot of promises to the American people that he did not keep. I talk extensively about the fact he said that his main reason for running, and on day one, he was going to bring down prices. And I do believe a lot of people voted for him with that priority in mind. And look at where we are today. Inflation is up, the cost of food is up, unemployment is up. He did not keep that promise to the American people.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. I'm not naive. Race and gender do play a factor in some people's minds about how they vote. But my history tells me, because I have been the first in all of those, that people ultimately want to know that this is the best person to do the job, and that's their focus, and that's how I've always run. I've never run as a woman or as a person of
I know, but
color.
you and Hillary
I have run
Clinton-
because I believe I'm the best to do the job.
In a crucial part of her interviews, Kamala Harris addresses a complex and sensitive topic: her view of former President Biden's capacity to lead. While she consistently expressed admiration for his ability to serve as president, she makes a critical distinction between governing and the immense physical demands of a modern presidential campaign.
Joe Biden was a highly capable president who accomplished great things that history will talk about, and did in so many ways a lot of very hard and deep work that was about not only a focus on the American family and the American people, but on America's standing around the globe. Running for president of the United States is like being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace with people throwing tomatoes at you every step you take. It is not for the lighthearted. It takes an incredible amount of endurance and stamina. And can you imagine doing it while you are also carrying literally the weight of the world as being president of the United States? So the distinction I make is about capacity to be president and what that election would require in that campaign, especially running against Donald Trump. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted?
She hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. But just so you understand, they sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war.
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow. And that is another one. And I talk about it now and always. We're living in very dark times. These are troubling times. And I hope and I pray that when people read this book, they will remember the light that they had that cannot be diminished by the outcome of one election or the existence of one individual. That light exists in all of us, and we have to see it in each other and let that propel us through these dark days.
Ultimately, these insights ask us to consider a deeper question. In an era of intense political division, how do we evaluate our leaders? Is a campaign's success measured solely by its outcome, or by the principles it upholds? And what is the true cost of political conviction in a world that demands a relentless pace? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What do these reflections reveal to you about the future of American leadership?